Was Gene the only one during
It
that time that
was
you?
more of a primary. It was more of I wanted to know this person because at the time I
Mm,
was actually in a relationship, but I was falling out, and I told her about it, and we still met. Yeah,
good. So you were dating someone, but the relationship wasn't going that well, and so
correct.
you were getting on the dating apps because of that relationship wasn't going well. You met Gene. Is
Yes.
that what happened? And then how long did it take for you to end it with the other person?
Ooh. Jean met Douglas on Black People Meet. He was a firefighter. She noticed the uniform. He noticed her smile. And when Jean's daughter got sick, Douglas showed a level of care that immediately stood out. But there was one complicated part. Douglas was still in a long-term relationship. He later admitted that relationship had already been over in his heart. He would come home from work and sit in the car because he didn't even want to go inside. Then he met Jean. She didn't chase him. She didn't force a decision. But when Douglas experienced peace with her, he chose her. And 16 years later, they are still married. I'm Dee Dee Patterson. And on this channel, I share real stories of couples who found lasting love on dating apps because I want you to believe in love again and see that dating apps really can lead to marriage. After all, I met my husband of 15 years on a dating app too. Jean and Douglas's story is proof that sometimes the right love doesn't feel chaotic. It feels like home. Let's dive in.
Welcome. We have another couple. We have Gene and Douglas Jackson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to get started with the first question. What do you both do for a living? Who wants to go first?
I'm a retired DC firefighter, and currently I'm a bus driver for a private school.
Nice. You're retired. I love that. And then what about you, Gene? What do you do for a living?
I'm a school performance coach and a testing coordinator for Anne Arundel County Public Schools.
Okay. So you guys are definitely in the DC area. And I go to Anne Arundel. I used to go to Anne Arundel County schools. So shout out to Anne Arundel County. Okay. So how long have you guys been married?
16 years, and he looking at me because he know I know. 16 years, it'll be 17 in November.
Wow, 16 years. So I think you guys have beat the record so far of the couple who's been married the longest. So yay to that. So what site did you meet on?
BlackPeopleMeet.
Woohoo! Okay. Black People Meet. So who wants to tell the story of how you guys met on Black People Meet? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So I have been on Black People Meet for a very short time, and he sent me a message, and I think I saw his uniform in a picture.
Okay.
So
was it the firefighter?
Yes, the firefighter picture, I believe it was. And we started conversing all during the day.
Mm.
And then later I knew I had to pick up my daughter from nursery school. But when I picked my daughter up from nursery school, Bailey was sick.
Okay.
So during the interim of talking with him and picking up Bailey, I was telling him, she doesn't feel good. And he was asking all these questions. And I'm like, are you a paramedic? Or
Good.
what do you do? Are you, I didn't know what his occupation was then.
Okay.
But he just kept asking all these questions. He was telling me, well, you take her to Children's Hospital. I'm going to call Children's Hospital to let them know you're coming or something of that nature. And all I could think about, who is this guy that's so worried about my daughter, And so, but it was just a nice feeling that he had a lot of concern for her. But it turned out that she was allergic to red dye. And so she had ate some red Jell-O, and it just really bad.
Okay. Did he guess that she was allergic to something?
Oh, no.
When he was asking all those questions?
Oh, no. I knew that she was just not feeling well. And I was concerned about Bailey.
Okay. All right. And then you said, Gene, that you were on for a short time. What does a short time mean?
Maybe about 3 or 4 months or so.
Okay. That is so funny with people's definition of short times, because some of the people I interviewed said, I was on there for a long time. It was 2 months. And so, yeah, so it's very interesting to see everyone's definition. So that's good that you thought 3 or 4 months was a short time. And then from your side, Douglas, what happened on your end?
It was just something to do while I was at work the past
Okay.
and I noticed Jean by her smile. So that's why I reached out.
Okay.
And it was just lucky that we had a somewhat good connection when we first met.
So you saw her, you were scrolling through, and then you saw Jean, and you noticed her smile, and then you decided to send her a message. Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Okay. And then did you send other women messages, or was Jean the only one during that time that you...
It was more of I wanted to know this person. Because at the time, I was actually in a relationship, but I was falling out. Jean, yes. It was, and I told her about it, and we still met.
Good. So you were dating someone, but the relationship wasn't going that well. And so you were getting on the dating apps because of that relationship wasn't going well. And you met Jean. Yes. Is that what happened? And then how long did it take for you to end it with the other person?
Ooh, when I met Jean, I was like, that's it.
It
was a done deal, basically.
He said done deal. I will say that there was a lot of connection within us meeting, because I had to figure out, was there some connection? And I actually figured out when I finally saw the firehouse, I figured out where that firehouse was. And there was a connection because a past friend of mine, best friend, worked at the same station. And then I found out that my godmother's nephew was the lieutenant on his shift.
So you guys knew some of the same people?
Yes.
Yes. So we knew some of the same people. And, I'm a Virgo, so I'm going to find out and try to see what I could find out. And everything seemed to be okay.
Good. So Douglas sent you a message, and then you responded. And then what happened after that? How long did you guys talk? And then when did you guys go on your first date?
Oh my goodness.
You're talking about
going back a long time.
I know, 16 years. Yeah, we're going back 16 years. Or a bit longer. Yeah.
Not one of those like a year relationship, 2 years. You're talking about 17 years. But I will say this. The day after Bailey was sick, we agreed to meet, and we agreed to meet at the McDonald's on Georgia Avenue. Okay. So that was the first time I laid eyes on him. It had to be a couple of days. It was a couple of days on his next shift. We agreed to meet after his shift because Bailey was feeling better, right? We did meet at the McDonald's, and I entered, and Bailey just happened to be in a car. So, it was, like you said, it was a done deal. So pretty much.
And that's interesting, because I know nowadays people are like, you have to take me out to the most fanciest restaurant on the first date. But what made the decision to just meet at a McDonald's? And was it like consider a date, or was it just like, hey, I know this McDonald's, let's just meet there?
Mutual. Go ahead. It was something mutual. It was public.
And it was daylight. And we actually sat in a car and talked.
So you didn't actually go into the McDonald's?
No. We sat outside in a car and we talked, and that was it. So we didn't have a really first date considering his circumstances at the time, because I just wanted him to be my friend at first.
When you say his circumstances, you mean that he was in a relationship? Is that what you meant?
I was living with someone.
Yes.
Oh, he was living with... Okay. So then you said you just wanted him to be your friend?
Yeah, I wanted him to be my friend. I had been married previously, so I didn't want to get into something that... I wanted someone to be my friend. And first, but things moved on. So
so then after the meeting at McDonald's, and you said it was a done deal, but when did you guys actually become official?
We started February 3rd, 2006. And
it got the date. Ooh.
And it didn't official until 2008.
Oh, so like 2 years later.
Yeah, not until it was 2 years later. You know,
Okay.
it was time that had passed, and because the situation, circumstances for Kim and I were totally different. So we had to come up with some decisions, some very hard decisions.
Okay. And when you say hard decisions, what were the hard decisions?
The hard decisions, whether are we going to be together, or are we just going to be friends, or are you going to try? I guess my feeling was that even though Douglas was in a past relationship, was in a relationship, I did not want to be the cause of him leaving. I wanted him to be sure that he wanted to leave and come on this side.
Okay. After you guys met at McDonald's, and then 2 years later when you became official, in between that time, were you just friends? You just hung out? What was happening in between that time?
We did hang out a little bit, and I guess for me it was more so I would go to the firehouse and see him, and he would stop past here. And because my daughter was 5 years old at the time, you know, if I needed to see him, I would just go. And she just fell in love with Douglas. You know, that was when she saw him, she would run to him, jump in his arms, and, you know, he just loved on her pretty much too. So that kind of made the glue stick between us.
Okay. When you first saw Douglas, I always ask, was it love at first sight? Even though it wasn't really a date. What were your thoughts when you first saw him in person?
Oh, when I first saw him, I loved the man in uniform. I think his uniform stood out to me the most. His compassion. Like I said, the compassion for Bailey was what really, you know, got me per se. So, but him as a person, he was very upfront about his situation. And it was something more so that he said to me early on, and that kind of made my decision. And he said that if he hadn't married his friend in 10 years, what makes you think I'm going to marry her now? So I was like, bingo. Okay. So it was just his words. He would say things, and he probably don't even remember some of the things he would say, but that really stuck out to me the most. And I knew I wasn't going to allow 10 years to go by, but he did say that, and that stuck out. So I was like, okay, well, it's been over 10 years you've been with me. He ain't going to marry you, so I guess we'll be just fine.
Ooh, Lordy, please.
Okay, so because you didn't have any like jealousy feelings or stuff, because you're like, well, they've been together for 10 years and he had married her, so that must not be his person, kind of. Is that what you were thinking?
It wasn't happening in my past relationship. It wasn't.
Okay.
And it was steadily going down. Hence, that's why I was on dating sites, because I'm going to move out from this situation. And actually, I moved in with Jean, packed up my pickup, all my belongings, 2 dogs, and just left.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you tell the poor girl that?
Did I tell her?
Like, hey, I met someone else. What did you tell the other girl?
I just told her, say, I'm done. I can't do it no more. You know, it was just, why stay in a relationship that you're not happy? Even when I would get off of work and sit in the car for about half an hour because I didn't want to go in. So it was time. So just packed up everything, put in the pickup, moved in.
Okay.
And I actually proposed in front of Belly, and it was basically cut and dry. So out with the old, in with the new.
Okay.
And I mean,
so
it's really cut and dry, you know.
Yeah. So for all the women who have been in a relationship with a guy for like a long time, like 6, 7, 8, 9 years, why do you stay with a woman for that long when you know that you don't want to be with? You don't want to marry them.
It's just convenience. It's just a habit. It's convenience. But you know, I'm getting older, and why stay here if I'm not happy?
Right.
So it's you know, like I said, it's really cut and dry. Why stay in a relationship? You know, you probably interviewed a lot of people, but why stay if you're not happy? And if you don't have peace in your home and in your heart, why am I here? just to pay the bills, and I can keep going back. It's convenient. I can't do it.
Now that you guys have been married for 16 years, what do you like about Douglas?
Oh, you know what? He doesn't force me to be another person. I'm myself around him, and I think that he's very compassionate and allows me to be me. I don't have to put up a facade. He understands my handicaps, and hard of hearing. I have like one major health issue, but it's okay. It's under control. So for me, it's just that I go. And a lot of people say we're like night and day, which we are. Salt and pepper.
Okay.
But he allows me to go and do what I need to do. And I don't have to worry about someone. Well, where were you going? What are you doing? What time are you going to be back home? I go. And he's like, go. So I don't have any problems or anything about doing what I need to do, even in my career wise of completing my doctorate. I stayed at work very late, many hours. I work all the time, and it has never been an issue for him.
Good. That's good. It sounds like he lets you just be yourself. That's good. And then Douglas, what do you like about Jean?
She takes care of me.
Okay.
Look, honestly, when Jean was talking about, I let her be herself. I should never worry about the person or my significant other. What are they doing? Why? I don't have to call and text you 100 times a day.
Good.
Do what you got to do, because on the flip side, I ride motorcycles. She has her own motorcycle, but if I want to go out riding, she does not have to worry. Even though wherever I get at, I would text and say I'm here or whatever. It's a mutual trust. And if you have a mutual trust, then you're not happy at home. And if you're not happy at home, why are you there? Life is too short to worry about a significant partner or the person you marry. What are you doing? Where are you at? Give me a call. I'm on a call. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
Just don't have time for, I can't. And if I don't trust Jean, then I don't need to be here. I don't have to worry about Jean. She takes care of me, even with my retirement pension. Just give me a couple of dollars. Now, am I worrying about you banking the money and putting it in a trust fund for yourself? Just as long as I got food, my motorcycles are running, I got a roof over my head, I'm happy. When I say I'm a homebody, basically Jean's telling you the truth. I am a homebody.
What made you confident that you found the person that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
That's honestly, Miss Dee, that's a tricky question, because you got to look at it. You're taking a leap of faith.
Okay.
And with that, when you have to take a leap of faith, is this the one? Because marriage is now like, well, over 50% divorce. I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's a leap of faith, and you're trusting somebody with your heart that you want to live with for the rest of your life. I was blessed and found Jean, that when I said I'm a married person, kept man. I should have said, there you go, kept man. I'm not a kept man. Jean is just more concerned about, am I happy? So I would do the same. Are you happy? I try my best.
And we've been married for a while, so it's a process.
It's a process. So you just gotta, are you content? Are you happy? If you can't live with a person inside a house, not a home, and you're not happy, why are you here? You get what I'm saying? So if I'm happy, Jean's happy, happy wife, happy life. We say that, but it's true. If she's happy, I'm happy. If she's not happy, then I'm not happy.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So for you, Jean, how did you know that Douglas was the one for you?
Oh, well, you know what? I have to take it back, and I always have to put it on my daughter. I do. Bailey is my nonchalant child.
Okay.
But she's very loving. She has a good spirit. She takes to people, and she won't take to people. So I've had friends that I dated and she might have seen them or in passing. But Douglas was the one that she just gravitated to, would jump in his arms, glad to see him. And what you have to understand, for Bailey, she was only 5 years old when he came.
Right.
So she calls him Mr. D. And to this day, she still calls him Mr. D. And all of her friends call him Mr. D. So, they have their own little thing going on ever since they were 5. So, it was the gravitation. And when I grew up, my parents divorced when I was 8. So I didn't have that male figure inside of the household, but my dad was always around, always.
Okay.
But I wanted Bailey to grow up with a male figure in the home. But I could have done without. But Douglas was just that caring and so loving with her that I knew that he was the one, simply because of her gravitation toward him, the way she responded. And I watched very, very closely.
Nice. I love that. That's really good. Douglas, do you have kids yourself, or was Bailey? Yeah. Oh, you do. Okay.
I have a daughter, and I have 3 grandchildren.
What advice do you guys have for people who are looking for love online? Ooh. Do you want to go first, Jean?
I'll go first. You know what? For me, you're going to come across bad apples. Mm-hmm. I came across a lot of bad apples. But if you are serious about trying to find someone, keep going until you find the right apple.
Good. I like it. What about for you, Douglas? What advice do you give for people looking for love online?
Roll the dice. I hate to say, just roll the dice, and you're going to find plenty of bad people out there, plenty of scams, plenty of this. It's more of I go right back to it. It's like rolling the dice, and you hope you can find it. But nowadays, it's like you just got to roll the dice, and hopefully you'll find that perfect match.
So then, now that you guys have been married for 16 years, what marriage advice do you have for people?
Learn to be forgiving.
Learn to trust.
Okay.
It's going to be rocky. It's going to be arguments, but you have to realize I'm with you. Anything that happens, we have argued. We have knockout, drag out fights, but we're still strong in our love for each other. So that's the only advice I can say. As Jean said, be forgiving. As I say, if you're going for the long haul, you're going to have to understand that you have to trust the person. Like we go back to the, and I'm going to make this real quick. Going back to what I was saying earlier, if Jean wants to go out, honestly, half the time I don't even know where she's going. She swears she told me, I'm going to get my nails done. And then 2 days later, I'm going out. I forgot, I don't have to worry about it. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I don't care where she goes. It's just that you probably said it. Okay, I trust you. I'm not gonna follow you behind a car. And I don't have time for that. I just don't have time, because if you said you're gonna do something, and I'm sure she said something like last week that I'm gonna go over to such and such graduation. Okay. A good time, Also, and I'll make this real quick. We live in a house together or a home together. You have to have separate time by yourself. That's the best thing. I can't be under Jean's arms or, doing all this, and she can't. Please don't do this, Jean. Don't be shadowing me everywhere I'm walking around the house. No, you got to have separate but together.
Spaces. Yes.
Okay. Just separate but together. But when we're together, we're gonna have a good time. But if we're at home, and if I want to look at whatever show you looking at, I don't want to watch that. I look at black and white movies. She ain't gonna sit down and watch black and white movies or Godzilla. She want to look at just separate but together.
Right. That's good.
But
space is definitely important. Go ahead.
To that, Douglas and I have rituals. And I think it started when we first got together. Wherever we go, we text each other and say, I'm here.
Okay.
It's clockwork. If I get to work, I'm here. When he goes to work. And whenever we leave each other, we give each other a kiss goodbye.
Good.
So
I like it.
Whenever he leaves in the morning, I'll get a kiss. Whenever I leave in the morning, I kiss him. When he comes home, he gives me a kiss. It's a ritual.
Good.
I never know
It'll be
what's
the
going
last
to
time.
happen.
Yeah, it'll be the last time.
But that's always been our ritual. Wherever we go, we let each other know where we have arrived safely. And before we leave the house, we give each other a kiss. And when he arrives, we give each other a kiss. And we always give each other a kiss goodnight before we leave. Douglas doesn't rest well if he knows I'm out. He can lay down, but he's not resting. And especially if Bailey is home visiting. We both have to be in the house in order for him to rest well. He might look like he's asleep, but he's not resting well unless he know we are both in the house.
So that's good. I love that you have rituals.
I watch a lot of younger couples. A lot of younger couples don't take the time to have those type of things. You don't have those rituals where they stand out, or you have to have something that you are accustomed to. And I will call him and be like, "You forgot to give me my kiss." I'll get on the phone and then I can honestly say 95% of the time he doesn't forget.
Okay, good. And then what is your favorite part about being married? What's your favorite part?
My favorite part about being married, I don't have to do things by myself, which I do a lot, but I don't have to do things around the house. I'm spoiled, and I'm honest.
Yeah,
I don't wash clothes. I don't
take out the trash.
I don't take out the trash. I don't do any of those things. And the idea of being married is to have someone I can call on. Douglas knows when I'm having a bad day, I don't feel like talking or
we don't talk.
Like that.
I mean, that's being honest. Hey, you got a bad day, and she will say what should happen. So
it's just a matter of having someone with you, having someone that you like, that you can talk to, someone you can have fun with. Someone you can just enjoy moments with, and some of those hard moments you have someone to share with. That's the part about being married for me.
So for you, Douglas, what is your favorite part about being married?
I don't have to worry. I mean, cut and dry, I don't have to worry.
He just is spoiled too.
I'm spoiled too, but I just don't have to worry about when I come home. I just don't have to worry. Cut and dry, that's it. I don't worry. Yes, I have bad days and I may just flip out and such happen at work or with somebody, but we bounce. I guess what you would say, we bounce. Something happened, have a good hit, just listen, just vent. And if you have to vent, you ain't got to say nothing. You don't have to get advice. Just let that person vent. So just be understanding. Just like, as they said, I married my best friend. So when she has to vent because of a teacher or administrator or a student, I let her vent. The same back here. If I had a bad day, I will vent.
When you say you don't have to worry about what?
Just about life. I just don't have to worry. I have as we will say, this is not a house, this is a home. So when I come home, I stop worrying. I just stop worrying about what's happening around the world or the neighborhood or work or just, I'm home. We got our, as Jean said, the master bedroom. She fixed it her way. She said that's her sanctuary. I got a room and I got aquarium and whatever. It's my sanctuary, and that's why I say separate but equal. You have to have space, but then when we come together, then we just have a good time. But just don't be under that person's shadow. And I got to do this and the other. No. If Jean was like that, I said, oh, no, you go. And I'm sure if I did the same with her,
oh yes,
she was like, I just cannot, separate but equal, but we're in a loving home.
So when you come home now, do you sit in the car regretting coming into the house anymore?
No.
Are you more excited about coming home now?
Just glad to be home. Oh no, we don't sit in the car for what? Oh no.
Good. Okay.
Thanks so much for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more real life love stories from couples who met on dating apps. And if you're ready to find your own person, I've linked some free resources below to help you get started. See you in the next video.